Hey everybody, welcome back to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. We have Nando in the house. He is ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to rock and
Yeah.
roll. And he's got the cool beanie on. I like that beanie, by the way. Anyway, welcome back, you guys. What a fight we had last weekend. And what another fight coming up. This fight card coming up is a good one, too. But we want to Nando and I want to touch a little bit on 286, the last two fights, because there's a little bit of controversy. There's a lot of action, and so we want to just touch on that. Nando, first of all, we got to go over the picks, man. How did we do?
Well, you got 5 and I got 4. So you beat me by one fight.
Yeah, but out of how many?
I think it was I think we counted like 10 fights or whatever. The final like 3 we all got wrong together.
Oh my
We both got
God.
Usman wrong together, Fazid wrong together. I'm trying to think what the other fight was.
Yeah, and let's see how many fights are on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 5 out of 15, bro. Come on, man.
9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we started on Jai Herbert. So out of 13, you got 5, I got 4.
Okay, so we better brush up on our prediction skills here. Anyway, let's start off with the Justin Gaethje Fiziev fight, and tell me your thoughts on that. I was surprised, to be honest with you, but here's the thing: it's so weird for me, Nando. I picked Fiziev, but my heart was with Gaethje because of the way he was fighting. It was just like, oh man, I'm pulling for him, but I picked him, And so, in a way, I'm not heartbroken that I picked the loser on that one. But what was your thought about the fight overall?
Um, that was a good fight. I thought Fazid was faster. He scored more points, I thought, but I don't see how Justin won. I'm glad he won, but I think Fazid had the first 2. Justin definitely had the last round. Maybe they gave Fazid definitely had to have taken the first round. So maybe they gave Justin the round, but
Well, and
I'm
I think,
glad Justin won.
yeah, me too. I think Justin won that fight. I don't think Fiziev won it. He had more volume, but obviously, by the end of the fight, the damage was there, all written all over Fiziev's face. I mean, he's never been beaten like that before. He's never sustained those kinds of injuries before, and he looked pretty jacked up. When everything was said and done, and then at the post fight interview for Gaethje, he didn't look like he had a mark on his face.
He said it was boring.
So that's I did think that Justin won that fight just because of damage, and his strikes were more effective, definitely more effective. But yeah, it was. And even Fiziev, a post fight interview or article I read about him, he said he fell into Justin's game instead of his own game. And he's mad at himself. He's really upset with himself for that because he said, I followed him around. I fell into his game, and then he had his way. And he was pretty upset that he didn't stick. He said, I did not stick with our game plan.
Yeah, that's not good. You don't want to start playing Rock'em Sock'em with Justin Gaethje.
Oh,
it's
no,
a
you
bad
don't.
idea.
The proof's in the eyeball, man. I mean, that eye was jacked up. Okay, so let's move on real quick to the welterweight title belt with Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. I want you to give your assessment first because I might make somebody mad about what I'm going to say. Okay, so I'm going to let you go
You're
first.
gonna make me mad? Okay.
So you stay away from the fray.
Okay, well, I scored it 10-9 Leon Edwards. 10-9 Usman second. 10-8 Usman in the third, I thought. I don't know if it was the second or the third for the grab. So then I had 10-9 Edwards fourth, 10-9 Edwards fifth. So then when it all came done, I had 47-47. I thought it was going to be a tie from what I saw. I had already known what happened, but I was watching it and I was scoring it myself. I thought Usman would have had uh, a tie. I thought that Edwards was a lot better than he thought. He put it on him in the beginning. He put it on him in the end. But I think that to be the champ, you got to beat the champ, and he didn't beat the champ. He wasn't the Usman of old. I mean, something happened. He was trigger shy. I just don't think he did his best effort. And I think if he looks at it back, he's going to say, yeah, that wasn't my best effort.
Okay. Well, for me, overall, that was a lackluster performance by both, in my opinion. I wasn't wowed. I wasn't on the edge of my seat. I thought there were so many half-hearted takedown attempts on Usman's part, really half-hearted, because he's got the skills to take you down. And he proved that in the last fight with Edwards. And I can't see that Edwards' defense appeared to increase that much, that he would stuff everything almost that Usman threw at him. But you could see those long lunges. He was reaching across the cage to get the cage to get that leg, and it's like he's 10 miles away, and he's ducking 10 miles away. He was afraid of that head kick because and Edwards on as a kudos to him, he planted it in that brain at the press conference. He says, head kick, head kick. He just kept repeating it, man. And I think that stuck, even though Usman tried to play it off. He's like, oh, man, I got to watch out for that kick. But I think he was very timid. They said there were some injuries Usman was dealing with, and that's why. But I thought the overall fight itself, it was okay. And but everybody's making it out like it was this great fight. And I'm like thinking, well, I'm seeing something different because I don't see a great fight. I see, two guys that are not wanting to lose. They're not wanting to win. They're not wanting to lose. And that's how the dance went, in my opinion. I didn't think Usman had any really significant strikes. Leon Edwards definitely beat him in that realm of the side kicks to the ribs. There was a couple of really good kicks there. And the jab was working for him a little bit. But overall, I say the Gaethje Fiziev fight was the fight, that stole the show for sure. And I see, I kind of, and then, what'd you think about Colby Covington weighing in?
Yeah, I told you on Saturday, I was like, yep, Colby's next. I think Colby should be next. I think Leon's saying that, oh no, I'll pick. That's not how it works, man. I don't think you know that. I think you're the champ and you think you're the king and you can do whatever. No, we need butts and seats, and you're not going to be able to pick who you fight. If Jorge Masvidal does beat Gilbert Burns, which I really don't think he is, I mean, he might. If Gilbert Burns plays his game, then yeah, Masvidal might win, but I wouldn't wait on that. And I think they promised Colby. Colby went in there, and he was willing to fight whoever. And
yeah, well, Dana White said 100% Colby is the next contender to fight Leon Edwards. And but they were saying the numbers of Colby's weigh-in and his presence outweighed the numbers for the fight itself.
Yeah, they're everybody's saying, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he has been radio silent. He came out Friday, and everybody's talking about him till now, till Thursday. If you want to make money, and that's how you make money, Leon, if you don't know, you have to get butts and seats. And this guy is going to be at the press conference. He's going to have people, and you get a little bit of that piece from the pay-per-view. Would you rather get a pay-per-view where you're not the headliner he's not going to be the headliner with Masvidal. They can do all that talking. It's not that great of a fight.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's a fight that you can win, Leon, but you need to make money now while you can make money.
And you got to get a bigger following. And if he beats Colby Covington, he will get a bigger following for sure. But like I said, Colby said, "Hey, my numbers are better for at the weigh-in than their fight." You know, and that's proof positive right there. The numbers don't lie, and that's what the UFC likes. They like numbers. They like you said, Nando, butts and seats. But now we need to move on because we can do a whole show on that, and we got to move on. So we're going to move on, guys, to UFC Fight Night. We've got Vera versus Sandhagen, and this is going to be quite a fight. Expect lots of action. Let's start from the bottom this time, or do you want to start from the top or the bottom?
The bottom's fine.
Okay, let's do it. So first up, we have women's bantamweight bout, Haley Cohen versus Tamiris Vidal. And Haley is at a -125 to a +205 Vidal. What do you got?
Okay. Cowan is 31, 7-2, 4-5 Blitz Sports, 2 wins, Contender Series alumni. Vidal is 24, 7-1, 6-fight win streak. Team Brothers is her team.
Okay. Next up, we have a flyweight bout, and we've got Victor. I'm going to massacre his name. Altamirano versus Vinicius Salvador. And we've got a +100 for Victor, who's for a flyweight bout, and then a -120 for Salvador. What do you got?
Victor is 11-2. He's 32 years old, 4-5, double fine mid-city MMA, 1 win, Contender Series alumni. Vinny's 14-4, 4-5. He's 26 years old. Marcela Ribas team, a 4-fight win streak. So both of these guys are on a win streak.
Okay. Next up, we have a lightweight bout. We have Manuel Torres versus Trey Ogden. Manuel is at -150 and Trey is at a +130. What do you got on these guys?
Manuel is 27. He's 13-2, 4-fight win streak in Tram Gym Contender Series. Trey Ogden is 33, 16-5, 4-5 Marathon MMA.
Okay. I'm always worried about these dudes that are coming in from the Contender Series because they're bad dudes, man.
Yeah.
They got a lot to prove. All right. Next up, we have a flyweight bout. And then from here, let's start picking winners and losers.
Okay, from right here?
From right here, this next one, CJ Vergara versus Daniel Lacerda. And we've got a -240 for CJ with a +200 for Daniel on a flyweight bout. What do you got?
Okay, CJ's 31, 10-4, 3-5 Pete Spratt, Muay Thai MMA. His last fight was a loss. Daniel De Silva is 26, 11-4, 205 shoot boxing. Diego Lima, 3-fight win streak. I'm going to go with Daniel.
Okay, I'm going to go with CJ. I really liked his performance last time. He kind of pulled the rabbit out of a hat, and but it shows he's got a lot of heart. So I'm going to go with CJ on that one. Next up, we have a welterweight bout. We have Trevin Giles, who both of us are familiar with, and Preston Parsons. We've got a -110. Oh, this is even. -110 for both gentlemen. What you got on these guys?
Devin Giles is 30, 15-4, 3-5 board training team, 1 win. Preston is 27, 10-3, 4-5 Elevate MMA, 1-fight win streak. So he's there with Sandhagen. So I think Elevate is Usman and Gaethje's team. Okay. So they didn't do. I mean, they did, I guess, all right. Their team last week. I'm gonna go with Preston.
I'm also gonna go with Preston. I like Giles though, man. So it's going to be one of those things. I picked Preston, but my heart's with Giles. Come on, bro. I got issues.
I don't know.
All right. Next up, we have a featherweight bout. We've got Steven Peterson versus Lucas Alexander. And we got a -165 for Steven. and a plus 140 for Lucas. What do you got?
Well, Steven's 32, 19-10, 205 Fortis MMA. His last fight was a loss. He's missed weight in his last 2 fights. Lucas
Thank you for that.
Alexander's 27, 7-3, 405. Fusion XL, 1 loss. And he's from Anthony Pettis's promotion. I don't like the fact that I was looking at that, Steven lost weight in his last 2, missed weight in his last 2 fights. It's not very good
No,
to
no.
lose.
You decided for me with that stat, because I'm going to go with Alexander.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him. Actually, I'm going to think Steven's going to
Are you?
get his stuff together, I think.
Okay.
This next one's interesting too.
Okay, next up we have a featherweight bout. We have Daniel Pineda versus Tucker Lutz, and we have a plus 235 for Daniel and a minus 280 for Tucker. So that's a pretty good spread right there. What do you got?
Okay, this is also interesting. Daniel Pineda is 37, 27, 14. He has, in his last 5, 1 win, 1 loss, 3 no contest. The 40-ounce Fight Club went over Herbert Jones, lost to Cub Swanson's Andre Philly. He has a no contest for eye poke, and then he has 2 no contests for banned substances when he was in PFL.
Okay.
And Tucker Lutz is 28, 12 of 2 ground control MMA. First loss and his last loss. So he has an 11 fight win streak, his first loss, and then his last loss. So
Okay.
he was doing well. He has a loss, but I'm gonna go with Trevor Lutz.
Tucker.
Yep,
I'm gonna go with the Lutz as well.
Okay.
That one's an easy pick, I think. Let's see what happens though. All right, now we're up to the main card, and there's a couple of good fights that I'm really interested in here. First up, we have the middleweight bout. We've got Chidi Nkwani and Albert Duriov. And we've got a minus 155 for Chidi and a plus 135 for Albert. What do you got on these 2 guys?
Chidi is 34, 22 and 8, 405, 1 kicks gym. He had his last loss was RoboCop. Great kicks, kind of like a Uriah Hall style Muay Thai. Albert Durov is 34, 14 and 4, 405. Fight Club, Beirut. 1 loss, Joaquin Buckley takedown. He loves wrist locks and that smothering style. He has lots of punches. It's kind of like the Dagestani style. I think this is going to be interesting because Chidi's going to want to keep it kind of like a Muay Thai style. Keep him at the end of his kicks, but Albert's got 1 goal, and that's to take him down and to grab. And those wrist locks are pretty vicious. I mean, I know that, like, the Dagestanians talk about it, and everybody talks about it, but his wrist locks are like crazy. He keeps to the side. He'll keep your 1 arm like this, then he tries to keep your 1 arm up, and he just takes you down and smothers you. I'm gonna go with Albert on this one.
Okay. You sold me. I don't know what's going on here. You're selling me on all these fights. I'm gonna go with Albert too.
Okay.
All right. So next up, I got a few words I want to say about this one. But I'm gonna let you go first. We got a flyweight belt. We've got number 6 Alex Perez versus number 9 Manal Kape. We got a plus 150 for Alex and a minus 175 for Manel. What do you got?
Alex Perez is ranked 6. He's 31 years old, 24 and 7, 3 of 5. Oyama MMA, which is also Cheeto's team. 2 losses to Pantoja and Figueiredo. Inverted triangles. He loves these. It's like a regular triangles like this, where you got the guy right here. He's in the reverse direction. So his head will be right here instead of his head being right here. So he has a lot of pressure and he likes that. I watched a clip of him, his highlights, and he just kept on doing it to multiple people. Manuel Cape is 27. He's ranked 9th. So this is where people are trying to, move up. This is like right where you're trying to get into that 5. So 18-6, 3 of 5, aka Thailand, 3-fight win streak. He was in Ryzen Muay Thai. He has like a crazy horse Bennett style, if you remember that from Pride. Really aggressive. Lost to Pantoja. I don't know why I wrote that, but oh yeah, I wrote it wrong. And he has a capoeira style, this is going to be very interesting because one of them's going to be really, really fast. One of them's going to try to use their grappling to load up on their punches. They both want to punch each other, but I think Alex knows that he needs to kind of slow him down. This guy's going to come out like a wild banshee.
Yeah.
In this fight.
Yeah, Kape is very quick. So I looked up Alex's last fight, and he's fought. It's like 10+ months ago.
Oh, really?
Or yeah, it's been a while since he's fought, and but there's been a lot of cancellations in fights that he was booked for, whether he canceled or his opponent is canceled. And I think they had a lot of high hopes for him, but I think his shine is starting to fade. I think personally, he's got to win this fight.
You think so?
Even though he lost to some killers, I think he's got to win this fight because of all of the cancellations. They're booking him for fights and they're just not materializing. And I think I kind of put him in there with Borg. Do you remember Ray Borg?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had a lot of shine on him. They had a lot of hope. He had great wrestling skills, but he would lose the big fights and then he would get sick and then he would miss weight and so on and so on and so on. And I think they get tired of these guys when they keep like pulling out and it could be a legitimate reason. I'm not saying it's not legit, but if they keep canceling cards and have to keep reshuffling, they don't like that too much. And looking at his history, he's got a lot of that. You got this dude who's super hungry, Kape, and fast. I'm going to pick Kape on this one because I just don't think Perez. I think his back's against the wall, but I think Kape is going to be able to snatch his soul.
I agree with you. I like what you said on that.
All right. Next up, we have the women's flyweight bout. We've got number 11, Andrea Lee versus number 13, Macy Barber. And we got a +130 for Lee and a -275 for Barber. What do you got?
Okay. Lee is 34, 13-6, 205, Karate Mafia. Lost to Vivian Araujo, wins over Kavilla, Antonia Shevchenko, Invicta fighter, Golden Gloves boxer. She likes the feints. I've watched her on Invicta. I like Invicta. I think it's a good promotion. She has great boxing. Her kicks are pretty good. She's kind of like a Holly Holm style, but Macy Barber's 24, 11-2, 3 of 5. Team Alpha Male wins over Jessica I, De La Rosa Maverick, lost to Grasso, Modafari. She's one of the people that she's an MMA breed. She was trained not in different. She's not a specialist. She's MMA as a whole. She has great ground and pound, similar to Misha Tate style, where she's bottom heavy. Like I don't know, the way she comes, it's all in her caboose, and that is why she's very good at positioning people and hard for people to take her down. So heavy punches. I like Macy Barber in this, but I think you can go either way. Andrea Lee is tough. She's a dog.
Okay. And I like your analysis on that. I almost say, how styles make fights, right? This one is not a distance fight, and this one isn't a cage fight because both of them are adept at both. They really are because Macy can push you up against the fence, but she's also been pushed up against the fence, and held there. and Andrea Lee. They both have that strength, that lower body strength, that leg strength to do just that. I think this one is going to be all over the place. I think they're going to start at distance. They're going to try and wrestle. They're going to find out they're canceling each other out. They're going to get back up to the feet, and it's going to end on the feet. You watch. Mark my words. It's going to end on the feet. So with that being said, I am going to let me peek at one other thing before I make my pick. I'm looking at the reach. Okay, so I was correct. So the arm reach is a 69.5 for Lee and 65 for Barber. So I'm going to go with Lee on this one, because if it ends on the feet, I got Andrea Lee with the reach.
I think you're wrong. I really think you're wrong. But we'll see.
All right. Let's move along here. This fight I'm really super interested in, Nando. This is a featherweight bout. Number 15, Nate Landwehr and Austin Lingo. This is gonna be a knockdown, drag out brawl. Minus 225 for Landwehr and a plus 190 for Lingo. What you got?
Well, Landwehr's 34. He's ranked 15th, 16-4, 3 of 5. He's from Sub Academy. 2 wins. He has MMA. He's from M1. He has a wild style wrestling background. High pressure. This guy's gonna go in there. Austin Lingo's 28, 9 of 1, 4 of 5, Fortis MMA, 2 wins, boxing style, great head movement, taekwondo. He needs to cut him off. If he cuts him off, this guy's got great hands. I think he'll KO him. So I'm going to say Lingo's going to KO. If he lets him come at him, it's going to be a short fight. But if he can get him to come to the sides, have him come, boom, right there, come, boom, hit him right there, it's going to be over for Landwehr. What do you think?
I'm going with my man, Nate. I'm going with Landwehr.
Okay. All right.
Because I don't know how well, I've seen Lingo fight. I like him too, but I don't know how well he fights off the back foot. Because Landwehr is going to pressure him. That's what he does. He's going to pressure him while throwing punches. So he's not just marching him down. He's doing stuff. And I think that's going to confuse our friend, Mr. Lingo, and he's going to make a mistake. And that's where Landwehr is going to catch him, get him on the ground, and ground and pound him out. So I'm looking at a TKO by Nate.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have the women's bantamweight bout. And we got number 3, Holly Holm versus number 6, Yana Santos. And there are no odds listed on the UFC website for this, so I have nothing to quote you. What you got?
This fight was really weird because I thought this fight had already happened. For some reason in my head, and I kept on looking through it, I just thought this fight had already happened. I was like, well, who won the first fight? They've never fought each other. So Holly Holm's ranked 3rd. She's 41. So if she's going for the title, she's got to win this fight. Jackson Winklejohn lost to Vieira, win over O'Donnell Pennington. Great kickboxer. I like her footwork, but it's slowing down. Yana, I forgot what her name is before. She's married to Thiago Santos now. Mm-hmm. She's ranked 6th, 33. 14-6, 3 of 5 American top team. Lost to Aldana, win to Vieira. It's going to be very interesting. They're both going to try to kickbox each other. I don't think there's going to be a lot of grappling. I found out the reason I might have thought they're former teammates. She was from Jackson Winklejohn, but
what's the age of Yana?
33. She still has a little bit of time.
Okay.
But Holly Holmes, she's already the champion. If she's going to try to be the champion again, she's got to go. She got head kicked the last time she fought Amanda, so I don't know what her heart is in this, but I'm going to go.
She just signed a new 6-fight deal.
I don't like that.
UFC at 41.
Yeah, I don't. Geez, I don't know
if
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go with. I think Holly Holmes got more skill, so I'm gonna go with Holly Holmes, even though I don't know exactly.
Yeah, you look like you were paying to pick that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Santos because I think she's just as strong. I think Holly is going to rely on the kickboxing only. She's okay on grappling, but I think Santos is going to be a little more hungry, and that's what I'm basing my pick on. Is just the hunger from Santos on this one. So I'm going to go with Santos. All right, next we move up to the main fight of the main card. We've got number 3 Marlon Vera at a bantamweight bout versus number 5 Cory Sandhagen, and Cory has moved up into Vera's the underdog again, plus 155, but he's always the underdog it seems, to a minus 180 for Cory Sandhagen. What do you got on this?
so Marlon's ranked third, Sanhagen's ranked fifth. Marlon's 30, 20 of 7, 4 of 5, Team Omnia, wins over Cruz, Font, Edgar, Grant, Ultimate Fighter Latin America. He fights with his boxing coach is Jason Perello, the great Jason Perello. Pressure. Sandhagen's 30, 15 to 4, 3 of 5, Elevation Fight Team, win over Song Yadong. Lost to Jan and Dillashaw, wide style, great long limbs, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They both are. But it's different. I think that, when you say you're a black belt, depends on I think the black belt from Marlon means more. So I don't remember exactly who it is, but I think the person he got it from is a little more. And Sandhagen doesn't like to be out wrestled. He'll wrestle people, but when Jan and Dillashaw with one leg out wrestled him, it wasn't good for him. So it's going to be a story of Sandhagen trying to have those limbs. He's going to try to head kick and knee and mess up Cheeto. Cheeto's a dog though. Cheeto's going to go in there. He's going to hit him. He's going to pressure. He's going to do whatever he has to do to win. So that's the other thing. He has a game plan, but once he gets in there, he's going to do whatever he has to do to win because he knows he wins this fight, he's off to the races. Yeah. This is the fight that's going to get. Sandhagen might need one more. Sandhagen they put a lot of stock in him also. They wanted him to be really big. So these are two guys that are going to be in title contention.
So who
they might be. I'm gonna. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go with Sandhagen. I like Sandhagen. I like the Elevate team. I like. Jeez, but I'm in Marlon Vera, San Diego. I mean, I don't know. And then they're fighting in San Antonio, where I used to live. This is tough. I'm gonna go with Cory Sandhagen.
Okay, way to stick to your guns. I'm gonna go with Marlon Vera. I think, and the main factor for this one, for me, because they're pretty equal as far as skill sets and hunger and they both have the dog in them for sure. But I think the main factor for me is Vera's fight streak, that he's just moving. He's moving forward and looking forward, and I don't think Sandhagen's going to stop him. I think there's going to be lots of action. I think there's going to be some tremendous leg kicks. Vera does have to watch out for that head kick. In Vera's style, I don't see him ducking a lot, so I don't think that knee is going to come into factor like it does in some of other Sandhagen's fights, because they come in, if they're going to, and it's usually for a takedown. It's usually for the double leg or a single leg, right? And they come in and they bend down, and he times that knee beautifully. I love Sandhagen too. Don't get me wrong. I like both of these guys. But I don't think Marlon's going to fall for that trap at all. I think it's going to be a standing fight. And I think eventually Marlon is going to out-tough Sandhagen, and he's going to start to hurt him, because everybody says he's got more power and stuff like that. But in his last few fights, when you see him throw those punches, they have an effect on you, man. They have an effect on you. And with Sandhagen losing to Dillashaw and Jan, you know, he's got those in his back pocket. So that could start to, he could start to cause doubt in Sandhagen's mind, causing him to get a little desperate and make a mistake, and then he's going to catch him. And I think that's the way that fight's going to end. I don't think it's going to go all 5 rounds. I think somebody's getting a TKO or knocked out. I don't think it's going to be a submission, though.
You don't think so?
All right. Well, there you go, guys. We got our picks. Hopefully, you guys will do better this time.
This when I come back next week, you're gonna be looking at the champion. I'm gonna win this time.
All right, let's hope it's a good fight, though. That's what I care about. It's a really good fight. And then we're going to keep you posted. Now we're just to let you guys know, we're talking about, we're doing these fire clips. We're still working on it because we want it to be good. We want it, you know, we promised you last week we were going to do fire clips, and it didn't materialize because it didn't work out the way we wanted. We want them to be exciting, kind of fun, you know, just to see reactionary videos and stuff like that. But we're still working on it, so don't give up on us, okay, guys? They will be coming, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Trust me on that. All right, guys, we're so glad that you tuned in. Don't forget, like and subscribe, share our content. We would appreciate it. And follow us. We got a great fight card coming up, and then more coming up. They still haven't announced all the fights for Fight Week in Vegas. Oh, Nando, I forgot to tell you. Guess who's going?
Yeah, Nigo told me. He rubbed it in my face for the last week.
Yeah, we're going to be there. So if I have the opportunity, trust me, I will interview a fighter. If I have the opportunity, I will interview a fighter for Knuckle Sandwich MMA. So there you go, guys. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for you today. Nando, any parting words?
This is going to be a great fight. They're doing it in San Diego. Shout out Lone Star Beer, HEB, Bill Millers. It's great. They're going to have a great time.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys at the fights. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the flip side. Ciao for now. Bye.